What is SmackNPie here, and it's been a while since we did a video here on the channel. So I've been planning to do this video for like a while now. It's been like good few months that I've been wanting to do this video, and today it felt like a good opportunity to do this video. So what is it, ladies and gentlemen? It is 5 things I want to see from Dark Deception Chapter 5. A lot of this is not technical. When it comes to technical stuff, we all have a separate video on specific things I want changed in Dark Deception, overall structure of the game, in terms of gameplay, technical aspect like powers and whatnot. That is a separate video. Here, we're talking more of bold points, more of a bold specific point. So, you know what, without wasting more time, let us jump into it, and also make sure to let me know your 5 things you want to see from Dark Deception Chapter 5. Let's just jump into it. So, starting off with flashbacks. Now, you guys wondering, Smack? That makes no sense. Of course we'll get flashbacks. Of course we will have those kind of stuff. What are you talking about? Are you dumb? Hear me out, right? When I say flashbacks, I am talking not like a model stick kind of flashback, which actually, you know what, it is. I know it's a perfect representation of the world that we're living in Dark Deception, but I feel like there was an opportunity in all chapters. I would argue, going as far as to say that there was an opportunity in all of chapters, in all of the levels of Dark Deception, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4. With each ease note, there could have been an easy, small section in between levels. Let's say if there are 2 zones, in between as a breather, you can have a flashback. Malak is not involved. Beers is not involved. She has no idea. Malak does not know. It's you. Malak is not, I'm manipulating your mind. No. This is you having those flashbacks and dreams. For real. Let me give you an example, because I'm all over the place at the moment. Let's say school, Agatha's level. After you finish zone 1, when you get to zone 2, before starting to collect those soul shards, you get a flashback. You get a flashback of you picking up Tammy Hauser from the school. And either a good memory, where you're so happy to see Tammy Hauser coming back, hugging you, running, sprinting towards you, good to see you. Or you can have another bad memory as a flashback where you're despising her. You're like, ugh, I can't believe I have to pick her up every single day while her mother... You know what I'm trying to say here? So there's an opportunity there. I feel like if we lean more into the real world aspect as well as we're moving towards the end of Dark Deception's storyline, I think it will be a perfect opportunity. But yeah, we're spending too much time here. Let's go to point number 2. Point number 2, ladies and gentlemen, continuing from point 1. Elise and Tammy Hauser boss fight. Now hear me out, right? There is a lot of chit-chat. People have been keep telling me, yo Smack, there is no Tammy Hauser boss. There is no Elise Hauser boss. Clarissa Elise Hauser. Neither of them have boss fight. The theory currently is that we are meeting Elise Hauser, the one who is keeping these notes behind. Why is she keeping notes behind? For whom? But anyways, I feel like even if both of these characters are not like on their own as a boss fight, and they're just there assisting Malak in Malak's final boss fight in Malak's lair in that final door, does not matter. As long as Elise and Tammy Hauser are actively participating in the suffering and brutalization of Doug Hauser during a boss fight, I will take that. It'll elevate the narrative and story of Dark Deception. And if you can have dialogues of Tammy and Elise pain from the past, and then have Doug Hauser expressing his regret during the boss fight, imagine you can have Evil Within 2 kind of boss fight here. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. 2 OP. Anyways, moving on to the 3rd point. Better pacing. And when I say better pacing, I don't mean just cutscenes, because Vincent Lewis have confirmed that the cutscenes in Chapter 5 will be better paced. So you won't have a whole movie after chapter but you'll have like cutscenes better paced out. I am talking about gameplay in specific, and I'll have a video later on it, but let me give you an example. Torment Therapy level Zone 1. It's easily one of my favorite levels, but then the transition happens from level Zone 1 to Zone 2. What happened? Vincent Lemmings, what happened? I wanted to do a review on Chapter 4 and the things that I didn't like about Chapter 4. Unfortunately, I had to travel outside the country, so I could never make that video. But there were a list of things I didn't like about Chapter 4. Zone 2 of Torment Therapy was one of them. You look at the trap, the design, and the map of Zone 1, and then you compare it with the traps, the design, and level of Zone 2. You're like, what just happened? And then it goes even crazier and ridiculous, the Joy Joy Gang level. So yeah, I'm expecting better pacing in the mall level. We're not gonna count anything past mall because they're just gonna be boss fights and psychological horror mixed up with Shard's gameplay. Coming back to this point in just a second. In at number 4, Beer's storyline with Malik. We need to wrap up Beer's storyline. As much as people are like, oh, I like Beer's, no. As a viewer, as a consumer, as a gamer, I think with Chapter 5 comes Beer's finale and ending. And it's been hinted towards by Vince Livings. I feel like Beer's storyline should conclude conclusively with no strings attached. Just a finale with Beers, whether she's supposed to die, live, betray, move on to the next realm, become the next leader, become the next devil, does not matter. Beers' storyline has to end, and it has to end here. We have to introduce new characters, new whatever in Dark Deception 2. And this is not me hating Beers' character. I actually love Beers' character. She's one of the only good parts of Dark Deception's whole world. Like, I'm talking about in-game, in storyline. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not talking about Malik. He can go on for as long as he wants, as long as Vincent Livings wants. I would want him to be there for as many seasons as possible, but Beers, she could be a background character in the second game, in the sequel or whatnot, but we gotta expand the universe of Dark Deception. One of the issues with a lot of franchises, a lot of these indie horror games, and a lot of indie games in general, they just stick to the safe characters, and they just expand those characters, which is great and all, but you gotta expand the universe. Make sure that the world and franchise and universe you're creating make people fan of that world and universe, not just those characters. Make people excited and hyped for any character that'll come in Dark Deception. Any character, any storyline, not just Doug Hauser, not just Malik, not just Beers. Introduce a demon more powerful than Malik. Introduce a realm much bigger and much scarier than Malik's realm. Introduce villains much more scarier than whatever the mumbo jumbo we got in previous 4 chapters. And also, Vince, feel free to change the rating of Dark Deception 2 from T to M. I want to see some gore. I want to see some blood. I want to see some human flesh being ripped into pieces. Where am I going with this, guys? Guys, it's just a joke. Relax. I'm just practicing for my own movie. Calm down. And before we get to the final point, this is a bonus point. Like I said, I'll make a video on it later, but expanding the Dark Deception gameplay structure overall. There is a video I made that I'll upload in just a bit after this, or maybe I have already. Dark Deception Backrooms. One of the developers who are making fan game of Dark Deception Backrooms said that they ran into some troubles of how to make a Backrooms Dark Deception game exciting when it's all monotone. Backrooms work fantastically for a psychological horror. You can't have a fast-paced style arcade game in Backrooms, even if the monster is constantly chasing you. Eventually you'll run out of creativity and it'll become mundane, a little bit boring. So how do you tackle that? This is something Vincent Livings need to tackle in the final chapter and expand the structure overall gameplay of Dark Deception. Keep those shards and that chaotic gameplay, but I liked the idea of expanding that structure a little bit in Barely Buried. Maybe explore more of that in Dark Deception 2. Leave room a little more other than, just collecting soul shards. I am down for a psychological horror experience based in Dark Deception universe, like a spin-off game or whatnot. But yeah, more a video later on that. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, better endings. Better endings. Vince, please, we need better endings. I don't care. Good, bad, true, we need better endings. Conclude them in a better way. You want to set up a sequel? Fine. Go and set up a sequel. You want to conclusively end the story? Fine. Conclusively end the story. You want to leave things open-ended in all endings? Do that. But make sure that all of the endings make sense, not just put together for absolutely no reason whatsoever, making it all chaotic and ridiculous and over the top for no reason. If it is over the top, make it make sense. Make it make sense for it to be over the top. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, these are the 5 things I want to see in Chapter 5 of Dark Deception. Yeah, they were not technical, they were mostly bold points, but I'm still really finger crossing that this chapter nails at least 50% of what I just said in this video. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let me know. Let me know your 5 things you want to see from this chapter down in the comments below. Subscribe, follow me to Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one.